Well, just going on YouTube. This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the sixth album by rapper Scarface. Basically, this product is called The Last of a Dying Breed, and that came out in the fall of the year. And this particular product came out in the fall of the year 2000. So within the particular affairs about this product, this review is going to be a little bit more, not so much dicey, but just from the pitch, just more off the memory and just the pitch behind it. Because the reality of it is, the fair behind it is the factoid that at this current stage I don't have internet or electricity in the household going right now. So it's just the pitch, not because of money or things like that, but just storms that cause outages. So it's just the pitch. Have to get this in. Want to get this review in while there's still energy left. Wanting to get this review in while there's still sunlight and pitches like that. So within the fair, this is so yeah. Basically, there's 13 songs on this project here. This is going to get a classic score within those pitches. It's vintage Scarface on that sort of appeal pitches like that. I'd have to say here, but I particularly look after the thing about this particular product is it's similar to 94 Scarface and 93 Scarface. Really, it's just similar to all of his early 90s type albums within the pitch. Not quite as like looming and quite as crisp and gothic as like the Untouchable from 97, but definitely it has some of that. I mean, this is a more haunting project than like the Fix was, and particularly like the 91 and 93 Scarfaces, but it's just from the pitch as far as saying this is kind of a melding of Scarface products as far as this first gonna happen because it definitely has some neighborhood struts. This one's a little bit more. This kind of has like social homies commotion, so it's within the pitch, not to say like it's a social homies commotion, which is definitely some excellent type fair to submit like the cheddar, just neighborhood outs pitch, just like that, just getting like the struts and just things that particular fair, running errands, and most type pitches, just neighborhood jaunts and some of that community type aspect within than a particular kind of gothic touch sense. So it's not as full bound kind of horrorcore on here, but it kind of blends the lines between mild kind of horrorcore and gangster rap songs that pitches with southern friedness. So it's just the aspect as far as getting towards that. So particularly, I say the albums that probably moreover reminds me of is probably The World Is Yours from 1993 and then The Diary from 1994 with like traces of The Untouchable from 97. As the hauntiness of the 97 album has like the kind of theme, has like the approach and this kind of aesthetic of the 94 album, and then it has like the kind of the snack run and kind of more out in like the city weaving and traffic of the 93 album, and probably the 91 album Mr. Scarface is back as well. Just some of those type pitches within the format as far as what's first happens, just to miss the pitch of some good type fairs. But simple enough to say I recommend all 13 of the songs on here. So I give this album a 10 out of 10 within those pitches. So just within the format, there were 2 singles off this project. Now, fair about this album is this did not have a huge kind of Tupac featuring anchor like the 97 album, the previous album to this one. Actually, he dropped an album at 90. I haven't gotten to that one yet. I haven't gotten to My Homies. Probably eventually that'll happen. I'm running out of Scarface products I still have to get to, but basically My Homies from 1998 has pretty much over 30 songs on there, so it's just one pitch. I do remember that album from back in the day, but we'll have to get to it. It's just going to take some dissecting pitches like that, I had to say. But within the particular fair about it, so the second most recent album prior to this one would have been The Untouchable from 97. That particularly had one of Scarface's largest hits, even to this day on there, the Smile song with Tupac. Songs like Game Over, some of those type pitches with songs like Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and Too Short, some of those type folks. It's just one pitch as far as saying that particular appeal. Now, the next album after this one, the last of the Dying Breed album, had some pretty big hits with like On My Block and then like that song that he did with Jay-Z, some of those pitches that felt like a blueprint left over some of those affairs. But this particular one, like it's Wikipedia had said that this one was less kind of commercially successful, but it did have more critical acclaim. So it's just on the pitch, I'd have to say, is this kind of the product. For the most part, that's kind of been Scarface in a nutshell. Most of his albums have at least gone gold, some pitches like that within those fairs. But it's just the fair as far as saying when you look after here, just being able to say that for the most part, it just always seems like if he does get a hit, it's usually only like one relatively large hit per album pitch, just like that. It's the same thing with The Diary and like The World Is Yours, some of those type ones, and even Mr. Scarface is back. So it's just within the pitch as far as saying. But yeah, this was a Gold Sun album, just pitched like that. But this particular album seemingly doesn't have as huge as staples. These are not songs that seem to have as much commonplace kind of within the rhetoric of it. I'd probably say within the fair, it might have the particular aspect as far as saying that these might be critically acclaimed. I definitely think when you talk about like hip hop blogs and just the internet media or just things within the commotion, like places like The Source, some of those places, they probably say it's probably has some heraldment within the pitch. It really doesn't have. Like it does have some good guests on here. J.O. Felony, Jay-Z, the Dog Pounder on here, Daz and Corrupt, some of those type folks, like folks like that. Devin the Dude and Too Short are on here. Some of that fixes. They do like a sequel to the Fuck Faces song, which is some pretty excellent type of PLs. UGK is on here, which is vintage just with an aspect. It's because Pimp C was actually not in prison back in the year 2000, so it's just some pitch as far as saying good type product to get like a minor kind of secret UGK type collabo pitch like that. I mean, there's more guests on here within those pitches, but it's just the format I have to keep checking my phone to kind of get towards it. So once again, I'm trying to do this off memory, but Look Me in My Eyes, the lead single. It's like an early bird kind of trap, late hustle, grit to kind of get here. I'd have to say within the aspects, it's kind of pioneer in a mode type song within the pitch. It's definitely some of that format of just the initial kind of ground laying. I feel like the format, I don't know if this particular song gets as much accolades within the format of being heralded within that full bound pitch, but when you think of some of those mixtape hustle type songs like off of Dream Chasers and Rich Forever, Yo Gotti, mixtapes, folks like that, some of these type folks, Gucci Mane mixtapes, a lot of that particular fair. It's like one of those type ones. It feels like a particular primer that just has that particular aesthetic of like a kind of hot to it, kind of 8 o'clock p.m. kind of starry type hustle mode within the pitch, but just a little bit more grit about it. This song definitely gives some mixtape vibes, I'd say. So it's just Dat Piff, probably 5, 6, 7 years before it particularly happened, is full bound. It's a definite kind of early bird kind of mixtape banger within songs that pitch is just excellent type fair to get that particular context, especially for like the year 2000. Just good pitches like that, just kind of in a mode within songs that fair. So just Pioneer Scarface. It Ain't Part Two is the second single. This is another nice one here. It's like a dreary kind of late day shift kind of sludge, kind of get within the aspects. It's kind of more 5 o'clock, 5:45, 6:15 type sludge within the aspects. This definitely reminds of like 2002's The Fix. Definitely some excellent type of POs cuts like that off that album, like some of those type ones. I forget the names of some of those type ones, but so I guess songs like Keep Me Down, some of those type pitches I had to say, just kind of this is like good garage type music. I had to say, just nearby out in your backyard pitches like that, just near it's kind of just near like a refrigerator in the garage. Someone's that fares within a pitch behind it. It's a good song to talk to just nearby within someone's that fares. So this songs like this feel more homebound, but not within the pitch of just being indoors with the television on pitches like that. Just kind of feels more is where there'd be wrenches or things like that nearby within the pitch. Just something within the aspect that's kind of more shop bound. This places where you're gonna have some smokes. Just being localized, but just within the pitch is still with familiar territory as far as what's goes up. So definitely some excellent type of PO. When I say this reminds of like the fix from 2002, it's just some pitches like that. Just some of that particular kind of disc like after effect to like the kind of dredge about it just with after effects, some of that type of tone. So just unwind within a long it has some relative kind of unwind factor about it, but just is like a good relief to be able to have. And this is a pretty relieving type album within the pitch. Definitely has the format of this kind of the fair of this, the wreck. This definitely has its revved up type songs on here as far as this pitch can have for like some good modes to kind of get into like commotion about it, but it also has the aspect of just being able to be like a good relief as far as getting towards the conduct of just having like the songs that are just kind of within the pitch as far as like not so much like if you're pissed off at work having like the conduct as far as saying that it just is not going to help. It definitely this is like an aiding type project I'd say within the tone as far as just like the commotion and just like hey work may have been a middle finger, but you just look within the pitch as far as saying that you got homies coming through in a few moments, maybe Beezy or some folks like that kind of coming nearby, this house party in a couple days, someone's like pitch to the format. I mean, if you don't have those things, I still would say that the aesthetic about these particular songs has enough off-fittingness to be able to have something I would probably recommend, within certain formats. Just, I mean, obviously, if you don't smoke, it's a little bit trickier to kind of have as many full bound recommendations. But this fast food, someone's type context, to just find something to be excited about is just some good type for within extras of it. But just some good type pitches. The Gangsta Shit is a nice song on here. It's like a gutter and oozing kind of hella early 2000s knock to kind of get here. Just hang out, kick off, I'd say, with an aspect of it. Just kind of some loud pack. I would definitely feel like within an early 2000 sense. Pretty good for like that particular time in the year 2000 is like a good song to connect to as far as this first app. So definitely with an aspect is getting some dap and poundage, some of those initial type aspects of just like commotion with your pals. This the consistent fare, just like some good type vibes. It just kind of, I mean, it just has the aspect of just it's kind of hangout type fashion, but just with the pitch, it's not as much full bound kind of red cup type music, but it's just kind of kick off noise, or maybe the PlayStation would be on, or a basketball, football game, some type fair. It's just the initial kind of conduct of it, just the kind of buzzing commotion, just like some standard dap and memes, some type fair. So the pitch behind it's just the initial kind of just sparks of things. In and Out is a quality one. It's like a good sequel to Fuck Faces, I'd have to say here, which is a hit song off of Scarface's '98 album that had Too Short and Devin the Dude on there, and I think one other folk who I don't remember, but it's just some pitch as far as saying this has like a woozier feeling than that particular one as far as this first kind of went. Just kind of a sprung, kind of springtime dew and Traverse, I'd say within the pitch behind is kind of some out. So just neighborhood type John's pitches like that is kind of the product of in and out is just kind of like the song says, just a miss like the wind, just the product of this in a strut type mode, just with pitches nearby, just Beezy's, just from the aspect like that particular fair, just localized type fashion. It's good type pitch for some of that. Just kind of it's good residential type notes within the product of it, just kind of in and out. It's like the song says in and out, so it's excellent type pitches for some of that. It's good conduct of it. Watch Your Step is a quality one. It's like a crisper and more haunting kind of Hand of the Dead Body from 1994. I'd say good aspect there. Just very just like a very Dracula-like bite about this song. I'd have to say just some local snackage pitches like that. So just some standard more fairs, some of that type product. Just getting a beefed up version, like a song that Scarface did back in '94. Some good pitches for some of those type ones. Conspiracy Theory is another one within some of those type products as well. These like good 1-2 punch. It's like a pounding kind of neighborhood weaving. I'd have to say within aspects of it, this '94 Scarface vibe definitely about these couple of songs. This particular one really nails that vibe. It's like some initial hangouts and memes as far as those fairs gonna happen. So just from the pitch, as far as saying some of those conducts, a lot of these kind of bleed into one another. Some of these are snack run type songs. Other ones are just from the pitch of this neighborhood, just kind of getting local pounds and just deuces chunked up pitches like that within the fair as far as those pitches kind of happen. Just amidst like definite songs like The Gangsta Shit, Watch Your Step, Conspiracy Theory, some of these type of ones, Get Out, some of these type of ones within the pitch, Watch Your Step, if I didn't say that one, OG to me, some of these particular type fairs within the pitch, but maybe not so much. OG to me is a little bit more in the mode, but I'd say like some ones like probably definitely They Down With Us, some of these type of products that really have that particular appeal, so it's just good type pitch. The Last of a Dying Breed, the title track is a nice one as well. It's like a gothic and leery kind of intro to kind of get here. This reminds of like Jeezy and USDA, some of those type folks, just kind of with like those recession and cold summer type vibes, just with the haunting type sense. But it's just this is vintage. This is years before Jeezy. This was a couple years before Jeezy really hit his stride pitch, just like that. So it's just from the form as far as saying it's like some good block terror and a good hop to kind of get within those tones. So it is further kind of neighborhood noise, but just from the pitch, it just a little bit more gothicness within tone. Is Scarface more on like his gasness as far as those first halves. A good type pitch. Get Out is a nice one. Now, this is a song that I noticed features Jay-Z on there, so it's a good pitch for this one. It's like a buzzing kind of out in the wind, I'd say, within the product of it here, just local errands and the like, I'd say, within the task of it, just kind of roping up ends, I'd have to say here. It's kind of one of those type ones. This is more amidst like the drug type fair within the aspect of it, just completing deals, pitches like that within the format of it, but it's just kind of pitch as far as saying this has a good commotion, just getting some errands roped up, pitches like that, some of those type fairs. This is like good, nice song to have homies ride shotgun. There are some songs on here, it's kind of within the pitch. This is not an isolated album, it's kind of the pitch. There are a few songs where you could listen to this with some pals nearby. It's not necessarily within the fashion that every single one of these is just you on your own getting like snacks and goodies or smoke fair, some of those type pitches, or you just strictly having like a commotion, just doing isolated activities. There's a lot of emotions where some of these could be just probably vehicle bound pitches like that, where you have a homie riding shotgun, or just some folks nearby, or just you riding shotgun to a homie pitch like that, where you're just appreciating Scarface and just on the local Travers pitches like that. So it's kind of fair just within the commotion of it. It's kind of the conduct of this, having some plus ones and tag alongs for like the commotion, just getting things done as far as what's first going. But it's just the pitches, just being out and like the local type get stuff done. It's a little bit. I mean, some of these are social within the commotion, but some of these are a little bit more productive within the sense. I'd definitely say another song like Get Out would probably be OG to me. I'd have to say OG to me has J.O. Felony and Daz and Corrupt on there. So it's like a sullen and moody kind of neighborhood trekking to kind of get here to standard run with a couple homies, pitches like that. It's kind of some mild irks about it. It's kind of the pitch. This one's kind of a little bit ruffled day, not so much full bound kind of bad hair day, but just some pitch. Just kind of like, maybe comment here and there, just kind of, it's just kind of within the commotion, just kind of getting towards the concept of having more, maybe being like a 3 or a 4 out of 10 in terms of annoyance, I'd say within the factor behind it, but that's the kind of pitch within those particular tones of it. The song And Yo is like some late shift creeping to kind of get this demon time enjoyment. I would definitely feel like within the aspects of it here, just past 7:30, 8 p.m. pitches like that. Some of those type pairs just feeling great. I definitely say within the tone, grab like some big lighters pitches like that and goodies for the homies as far as those first can happen. So if it's just the pitch where not all the homies want to go on like a run as far as those pitches can happen, but they're just like, hey, go pick some of these up for you, just standard tasks, just having like the particular kind of social commotion, but not everyone tags along. So this kind of pitch, just some in between type moments. Maybe you and a pal go pick up some of that standard fare, some of that pitch, just kind of the product of this, kind of getting towards it and just getting the commotion towards it. I would look within the time. I did notice that this particular product, there are some songs with like some relative buzzing noise, like I was saying, like the Gangsta Shit particularly has that, and there's at least one other one on here, like the Gangsta Shit, and then I would say They Down With Us. There's some good nice ones for like the relative commotion of being a miss like it, but this is actually more of like a gutter and just kind of oozing type product within the product. Just to say, just like the Gangsta Shit, it's kind of more of like a grunt it's a lot more of like a snaring and just kind of grim type project within the tone, more so than like the full bound kind of get crunk wildly and pitch like that. It just has a little bit more, not so much full bound mean mug type music, but just some pitch of just kind of being more stone faced. I mean, it has the aspect of getting tore up within the tone of just getting to the having like some good times, but just the pitch is just not really as full bound cut loose. Like there's not really a single on here within like the commotion when you think like and I would suppose that in certain fashions, it's not a super common that Scarface really makes like that particular. It's not like he does them. It's just the pitch. As far as when you think of a song like "Big Dog Status" by Scarface, some of those type ones off his 2007 album, some of those type affairs, and like my block from 2002 off the fix, this kind of pitch that's probably one thing that this particular product lot this one thing that this particular product probably lacked. But I think this is just a real gutter and grimy type product. Just the pitch as far as getting towards it, there's just not as much commercial bite on here, and I think that's kind of the reason why this was not as commercially successful. It's not like it's bad; it's going to get a 10 out of 10. But yeah, I'd probably say the most immediate one in terms of like the biggest house party or just pitches like that kind of song would probably be the Gangsta Shit, and the follow up would probably be They Down With Us. Just those pitches. Most of this is just kind of more neighborhood weaving, some of those type fairs, but it's definitely pretty social. But it's just not like blitzkrieg kind of red cup crazes, I'd say, but still within the aspect. Anio's a nice one. In My Time is a nice one as well. It's like a glaring and contemplative kind of housebound rumination, I'd have to say here. This one's a little bit more isolated. This is more tradition. This is more haunting type Scarface, I'd say, within the tone behind it. This vintage kind of gothic Scarface kind of get within these tones here, just kind of for some extras as far as express. When I say extras, just kind of extra thought, spare kind of extra time pitches like that. Some of those particular fairs are just not really so much at like a venue pitches like that, or just amidst like Aaron runs pitches like that, but just some of the fair just kind of moments that just it's kind of the mode of mapping things out and having some contemplate as far as those fairs going to happen. Trying to think of other songs I haven't talked about on here within some of these I pitched. I think the only other song I haven't talked about within the fashion, I guess there might be two of these. I guess there's at least two more of these. I'd say probably Sorry for What and They Down With Us the last couple, but Sorry for What's a nice one. It's like a vintage kind of 90s Texas fried kind of slum traffic. I'd have to say within the aspects here, just it's just like UGK, some of those type of feels just like the Riding Dirty days, some of those type pitches within the format 94, 2001 UGK pitches like that, just darker and more contemplative about it as far as this fair is going to have. So just within the pitch, yeah, so it's just a darker type version UGK. Sorry for what within those pitches, just within the fair behind, but definitely some commerce kind of sludge, just from the aspects, just very slummish within the trajectory of it. Just kind of the aspect of just like 5 o'clock, 6:15 kind of PM type dredge within town as far as those pitches kind of go. Just smoke one on the go, some of those type fairs, so just getting stuff done, but just kind of more slag type days. Kind of the product of just like that typical kind of frustrate some of those type fairs within it, like the tone, and then They Down With Us, which also has UGK on there, is a nice one. It's like a dope city slick and weaving kind of bop to kind of get here. Just goes with gangsta shit. I definitely have to say it's a good song to catch some dap and a swisher as far as this first guy. So just on the pitch as far as saying this neighborhood kind of commotion, initial kind of kick off some of those type moments, just kind of jovial type moments, just catching some good vibes. It's the pitch as far as just the conduct, just like some initial kind of buzz type moments to just have a maybe like a beer or something like that, quick beer, some of those type fairs, a meme or two, some of those type pitch, just the format just like some good enjoy. Some pound for pound kind of good kickback within the pitch behind. So just some good aspects there within the particular product of it. So that's the fair about this album as far as those pitches kind of happen. So I just look after as far as saying, I look within the time. I think I talked about all 13 of these songs within the product of it. So it's just the fair as far as saying within it that, I think I talked about conspiracy theory as well as just the pitch. This album gets a 10 out of 10. The social score I'll probably give maybe like a 9.5 out of 10. I look at the pitch. I mean, normally I'd probably get a 10 out of 10 just all these moments because it is actually pretty social. It's just the pitch that this is not as casually connecting. It feels like this is a Scarface album. There's not as many notable type songs off of that folks at full bound could know like that. It's just kind of the pitch when I definitely say that the two singles are not. They're good songs, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying just the noteworthiness behind how casually receptive they kind of are. Just I question how high it is. Some of these other type moments like the gangsta shit and They Down With Us are good, but it's just within the commotion as far as saying it just has to have the attraction of whether or not it's going to be given. Like this, how vivid the conduct about it's going to kind of be within some type pitches. But I just look at the format as far as saying some good type of appeal. Definitely has these neighborhood tracks pitches like that, some weavings, just some of that type fair local late shift kind of commerce, some hustle songs pitches like that, some good gothic kind of rumination, some of that fair is just a miss like Chris Summers and Autumn, some of those type pitches within format, and even a few springtime songs, some of those type pitches I'd say within the format. But I look after it here. So this project has good bite within the fairs, but it's just kind of pitch that I just question. So this project has good bite within the format of it. It's just kind of pitch as far as saying it's definitely good for homies with them pitch behind, but I just think it's just not as immediate within the aspect as far as just like the draw-in points, as far as something that just is like the attention grabber pitches like that. It's not like it's bad. It's just kind of pitch that it just seems more to drift into hardcore type territory where it's just kind of maybe it just the catchiness of what possibly is going to happen is just kind of more here and there with them, whether or not how much full bound, but it's not bad. It's just the pitch as far as saying just has to the connect just has to get ignited within those pitches. But I look at it's just the tone. To look at just a 9.5 social. So in terms of future, like Scarface has not really dropped an album since 2017. Some of those pitches he really retired in 2015. It's just the fair. There was an extra bonus set project that came out in 2017. There are a few more Scarface projects for me to get to, pitches like that. Like I was saying, I am going to get to the 98 double album eventually. But pretty much other than that, I've wrapped up everything damn near elsewise by Scarface. There is My Homies 1, My Homies 2, which both of which are double albums. There's the Scarface 2011 mixtape, and then the Scarface 2015, 2017 album. So there's a little bit more within the pitch. I'm going to get to some more of these just within the forecast of it. But this is a classic here. Kind of some dark, kind of shifted. There's definitely some dark, kind of shifted. This night shifts. Definitely some dark, kind of shifted night tricks, pitches like that. Just to miss like hustle mode and some of those type fairs. So just like snack runs and neighborhood sleaze and sledge as far as those fairs go. So definitely excellent type of appeal.